Imagine if you could jump into your car and fly to work. Imagine you could get your deliveries, products delivered to you using a drone. Today, we're at the Japan Drone Expo. We're going to be looking at some crazy drones, underwater drones, flying cars, simulators, and all the popular drone brands that you know. If you like drones or are curious about them, this is the right episode for you. Let's go! This is the first prototype of a flying car called the Beedol, developed by Shirogane Lab in Japan. It has 2 fixed wings for fuel efficiency and 8 motors. It weighs 245 kilograms, including a 70 kg dummy pilot. Beedol's design was inspired by kayaks. This allows it to function as a flying ship with the possibility of making it an amphibious aircraft. Even with this much weight, it can fly for about 15 minutes. This is a quarter-scale model of the second prototype flying car that will tentatively be called the Beedol 2. Shirogane Lab believes that flying cars like their Beedol will surpass traditional cars in achieving full autonomy. This is because the sky is much simpler to navigate. There are no congested roads, traffic jams, no pedestrians or cyclists to worry about. All you have to do is simply fly in a straight line to your destination. Imagine having the freedom of camping or fishing in a remote place without having to do the hike. So, even though we talk about flying cars and the like, it's most likely going to be a hobby for the rich in the beginning. Because if you think about it, first of all, you need to also set up the infrastructure. Like, where will these flying cars be landing and the like. So, if you think about the future, it's most likely going to be first a hobby for, the rich people and the like. And then later on, it can be implemented for like public use and the like. But flying cars are a reality. This is just one company exhibiting one of their prototypes. There are other people who've actually made some cars, but there's levels of certification that are required for flying cars. So it's a race between different countries, of course, and Japan is one of the countries trying to win that race in terms of flying cars. Let's see what else they have here. This is an underwater drone that can be used for inspection of utilities and anything that's underwater. It's a mini submarine. It was so interesting, I just had to try it and test out my drone flying skills. This is good. Back when I was learning how to fly drones in 2022, my drone flying sensei gave me the nickname Skywalker. Guess who I bumped into at the expo?
You remember? 1, 2, 3, da, okay?
Yes.
Okay? Yeah? Okay? There, 1, 2, 3, da! You remember?
This man is one of the best drone pilots I've ever met. Now, let's look at some of the drones that were on exhibit. First up is DJI. DJI drones are the most well-known drones in the world. In fact, I used the DJI camera to record this video. They brought all their cool drones out for display. I never thought I would ever see or touch some of these drones in real life because they're very expensive and they're built for specific functions. Look at this beast. This is the DJI Dock 2. It's mostly aimed for use in surveying, mapping, inspections, and security and surveillance. The drone can be charged from the dock, and it also acts as a takeoff and landing spot. The beauty about this machine is that everything can be automated. This is a DJI Flying Car, and this is the battery. Very heavy. Oh, thank you very much. Skydio? This is the Skydio 2 and Skydio X10. This isn't just a drone, it's an autonomous flying camera. This is the drone folded.
It uses advanced AI to navigate obstacles, follow subjects, and capture footage with effortless precision.
So this is a light. This is for night vision. And then this is the controller.
The X10 is the latest model from Skydio and is built for various industrial applications like construction, agriculture, search and rescue.
But say, for a drone wa AI, uses some AI
AI. Yes.
to maneuver. Okay. And then how many minutes this one flying?
The drone understands the environment and anticipates the subject's movements.
Tablet? Controller.
コントロールはこれにコントローラーつけて
The camera on the X10 can read a number plate 240 meters away, and this drone can fly autonomously even at night.
Oh, いいね。ああ。どこ？
まだ左向いて
ああ。怖い。
はいさっきの
This flight simulator gave me a glimpse of what it would be like moving in a flying car. And the way the simulator behaves is similar to a drone.
Okay.
What you see on this screen is what I was seeing through the VR goggles. I was able to look around the entire city.
Is this 3D or it's real?
3D
3D. Osaka?
大阪 Osaka City
いいね。
じゃあ OK
はい。
大丈夫
or Japanese, but like this.
Oh.
This is a sport. Yeah. Each team has a goal gate, and then the five players and try to get the scores. Yeah.
Wow.
During the 3 minutes. One game is only 3 minutes.
3 minutes only.
Yeah. But we can have 3 times match. You know. So
Wow,
we
this
can,
is so interesting.
Yeah. But this is not a new. It's already 7 years old.
7-year-old game.
Yeah.
In Korea?
In Korea, yes. And we have more than 1,000 teams.
No.
Really. And in USA, 200.
Wow. This is interesting.
Yeah.
So these drones are the ones which you usually use for the sport?
Actually,
These
this
look
is,
like models.
It's kind of
Yeah,
souvenir, gift.
souvenir.
Yeah, gift.
Where is
this
the
ball is main ball, so 40 centimeter, and
40
this is
centimeter.
original balls. But in USA, they are using this size, 22 centimeter size, and Europe also.
Okay.
Because they are making, this is too big.
It's too big. Yeah, it's big.
too
Yeah.
big. It's quite expensive too. So they prefer to use this size, And also, it's still expensive, so people want to use this for the practice. Yes.
For practice,
Yeah,
okay.
practice. Yes. So many of schools they are using this time because it's cheap, and at least they can enjoy the games, and then jump up to here and then here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the game is called Skyball.
Actually, not a skyball. We call it drone soccer.
Drone soccer.
Yeah, drone soccer. We put
Okay.
the soccer because soccer itself, football itself.
Yes.
Very famous.
Yes.
So
I
everybody
like
can remember.
football. So
One touch, one fly.
wow. It looks easy to operate. So even children can learn how to do this very fast.
Very safe. Very safe.
Wow. Very stable. And you're not doing anything there.
Yeah.
Oh, it can flip? I guess. I'm failing to follow it with the camera.
Battery is not enough now, so
Okay. But it's
I have to change it. This is battery can be changeable.
What type of battery is this?
Just one cell lipo battery, small one. So now the game itself is spreading so fast.
Really?
Yes. Because when I designed this and COVID comes, everything stops.
Yeah.
But
So are you saying you invented the game?
yeah. I
Really?
invented- Yes.
Wow.
I'm the
What's
inventor.
your name?
My name is Ricky Cheng.
Ricky Chen.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I didn't expect this much, but really
Yeah, I mean, it
people-
looks fun. It looks
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah. Because just the flying,
Uh-huh.
it's nothing.
Uh-huh.
No one interested. Because
Oh, but the
flying,
game-
Yeah. But please imagine, there are goal gates
Yeah.
and give them task. How many goals within 1 minute?
Uh-huh.
Then they will.
Yeah. No, thank you very much for...
My pleasure.
I found this drone interesting because it doesn't have a battery. Instead, it stays connected to a power cable from the launch site.
You can control the drone with iPads.
Oh,
It's very easy to use.
So what do you use this one for mostly?
It's for the disaster observation. And fire.
Oh, and fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone wear this wearable camera and go to the disaster
So
and
it
front.
goes to power.
Yeah, this is the power supply. And you need a smartphone
Okay.
to connect to this camera.
Mm-hmm.
And camera image is transferred to the website, and you can get the real-time image on
Okay.
the remote area.
So you're saying if say there's a disaster and I'm an inspector or something, I can wear this and
go
yes,
there.
and then people at the office can see what's happening.
Oh, it's emergency.
Yes, emergency.
Swing this camera.
Mm-hmm.
This is normal camera.
Normal camera.
If you swing the camera, you make movies like this.
Yes.
But our camera, electrical
Very
gimbal system is working, so very stable image you can get this.
Yes.
Now let's look at some purpose-built, not-for-sale drones.
Oh, there's a camera. So this is for water, eh? Ah. So under the bridge. No. Oh, so even okay. Like under the canals. Okay.
This drone glides on the surface of the river or canal and has a sonar system installed.
Camera or doko?
No camera.
No camera.
Sonar only.
Sonar. Oh.
This is sonar.
Yeah, I see. Oh, okay, just regular camera. So this company produces these drones which carry cargo. Let me show you this drone. Check this out. So it has a compartment where you store the package. And then it flies. So this is a Japan-made drone. According to the specs, this drone behind me the takeoff weight is 24 kg maximum, and then it can carry 6 kgs. Wow, its maximum climbing speed is 5 meters per second. Like every second it can go up 5 meters. Oh, and it can move for 10 meters per second. Wow. So depending on the configuration and the payload, the maximum it can fly is 35 minutes. Let's see the others.
The machine has a speaker, so we can.
Oh, so you can make an announcement.
Yes. To make people evacuate from the area, or camera to know what is going
What's
on
going
that
on.
area.
So
Please do that.
what does this drone do?
So
What is it for?
So this drone is for to survey like lakes or rivers or dams.
Okay.
So we put sonar.
Sonar. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. This drone can also fly, guys. It's not just a water survey drone. You see the video.
So this is the actual video for when we survey a dam.
A dam.
Yeah.
Ah, this looks like a dam in my country called Kariba Dam.
Where
Yes,
is it from?
Zambia.
Okay,
Zambia, yes.
okay.
Between Zambia and Zimbabwe, there is a dam called Kariba Dam. Yeah. It's one of the largest, if not the largest, man-made lake. You know lake?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but
okay.
yeah. Wow. So you're saying this is not a final report, but at least you can see that after the survey, it can pick would say the topography of the bottom. So these I think are called bathymetric surveys. So what I've noticed about drones in Japan is that mostly they're adopting drones or using drones for disaster management and mitigation. So they'll have drones with, say, speakers so that they can announce to people, drones that can deliver packages in case of emergencies, like, say, medicines and things like that. So when we talk about usage of drones, they're also using drones for inspection of infrastructure. So they'll be inspecting bridges, inspecting factories, inspecting plants, utilities, and all those type of things. And then they've got these, as you saw earlier, the one in the background there, the one that can carry out surveys. It's got sonar at the bottom, and it can carry out surveys of the lake and the ocean. So these are all multiple types of uses for drones. They're not just toys which people can use to capture footage, their travel footage and things like that. They actually have a lot of application in the future, and also in engineering and in science, and to help society.
What I loved about this expo is that I got to try so many different drones and learn so much about the different applications of drones. And I got to learn a lot from the speakers at the conference and also people that I interacted with.
There are some expert pilots. Nice. Arigatou gozaimasu. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to like, subscribe, share the video, post your comments, questions, or your input, and let me know what you think. So until next time, bye-bye.